Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Barbie Dolls of the Week. This week, I'm going to be showing you some of my favorite African American dolls from a lot of them that I have. You see some of them up here, but I have a few down here that I want to show you today. I'm going to start with probably one of my favorites. Of course, there's Golden Dream Christie, but I'm not showing her today. She would definitely be one in that top group too. But this is my Mrs. Hart on a new body since unfortunately her original neck broke. I think she's such a gorgeous doll. I've always loved her long, full hair. Well, fairly long. To me, this is long, not down to the ankles long, but and you know, this is her original outfit that this particular one came in a little bit short here. She's got a really pretty face. Um, her eyes, I can't quite tell what color they are. They almost look orange a little bit, but I think that's supposed to be a light brown, and she's got light lavender eye makeup or eyeshadow. This kind of fleecy, fuzzy turtleneck and this cute little outfit is. Um, Unfortunately, the tights are a little loose at this point. Or I guess these would be considered tights. And here's the shoes that she's wearing, which I believe are the ones that she came in. So again, I would have liked this to be a little longer, and it's getting, I think, a little faded at this point. But and as you guys probably remember, I like articulation, but I'm not a big fan of exposed joints like this. So that I don't love. But in this case, you're only seeing it on her elbows, really. So that's good. But yeah, she is definitely one of my favorites. Let's set her there. Also, I wanted to show you, and of course, she's from the late 80s. I just wanted to mention that. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Sew and Style dolls. So I looked those up to remind myself, and it looks like they started in 2009. They were designed by, or partially at least, by this Stacy McBride. Let me see where her name is. Of course, it's not right where I thought it was. Irby is her name, and she helped to design them. And they've got the three different dolls to start with. I think they added at least one other one later. So they've got Trishelle, Kara, and Grace. And today I'm going to show you this one that I've had out of the box for a while, which is a Trishelle. Now, interestingly enough, when I went to do some, and this isn't her original outfit, wanted to do a little bit of research on these for this video, I looked at the actual Mattel site, and they had this doll listed as Kara. Now, that's not Kara, that's Trishelle. Kara looks completely different. So even on the YouTube video I saw of the designer talking about these, she said Trishelle is the funky one with her kind of eyes looking off to the side, like this doll is. So Mattel has I believe, a mistake on the website when they talk about historical dolls. But speaking of history, these were dolls that were made, and I'm going to go back to this article for a minute, um, to help have some more quote-unquote realistic black dolls. They were different skin tones, three different tones, types of hair. The noses were, if we look at the Mrs. Hart again, and we compare the cheekbones and the nose and so forth on these dolls, they wanted the noses to be more realistic. For most African Americans have slightly wider noses, and I would say that's true here. Fuller lips, that's true. Definitely a more realistic look, I think. Now, she's pretty pale, but again, you have different skin tones. She's a fairly light-skinned African American doll, but I think she's very pretty, and I just like them. I always did like these dolls, but I like Trishelle probably the best of the three. Now, there's a story here later that year, which is on the Wall Street Journal website, saying, "Are Mattel's new dolls black enough?" So, no matter what Mattel does, I think they get backlash because, at the time they were saying, oh, they're all freakishly skinny, using the Barbie body, and the hair is so unlike the vast majority of black women, says this woman, Cheryl Nelson Grimes, the mother of a 7-year-old girl, and this is, of course, back in 2009 when she's saying this. I want my daughter to love herself for who she is and not believe that using a hot comb or straightening her hair is the only way to be beautiful. Still, her daughter says that Grace, her doll from the new Mattel line, is her favorite because she looks like me. She has black hair and a ponytail. Um, so, you can't please everyone. You can try to do more and more. And I think when the fashionista line came later, now Mattel has proven they can do all kinds of skin tones, different body types, and looks. And they are even more realistic looking African American and other ethnicities of dolls. So I think it's great. That's one of the things I really like about the fashionistas. Other things I don't like. But back to the Sew and Style line, I just think they were really well done. Yes, they could have used more body diversity, but Mattel wasn't there yet. It took them another however many years. But it's such a pretty doll, and I like her in this outfit. She's got some cool hoop earrings that you see here. Just a very beautiful face and really nice hair. Yes, it is straight, but other dolls didn't have straight hair. And there's a Trishelle, by the way, I saw in here that has what I would call, where did I see that? Like puffy afro hair later versions, or like kind of like an afro puff. But by the way, I wanted to mention that these dolls are selling extremely well, or well, I shouldn't say well, but going for high prices. I don't know how that well they're selling on eBay. So the cheapest one of these I found was for $19, and it was nude. Or you can get her dress for one of her dresses for $5 plus shipping. So most of them are above 20 or 30 or $40. The ones that I'm seeing here on eBay, like here's one for $80. These are almost all out of the box. Now this particular one I think was from the set called Barbie Sew and Style and Hair Trishelle. So that was this one, and I still have her box put away somewhere. But yeah, I do think this is such a nice line. I don't know why they didn't continue it, except maybe the sales weren't the best, is my assumption. Um, I see them starting in 2009, and at least through 2014, I think they were still selling some of them. But other than that, I haven't found a record yet beyond that. But yeah, I applaud Mattel for what they did back then, trying to be more inclusive, and then since then, even better. But also, I want to mention that these were, to my knowledge, considered Playline dolls. And if you look at the quality of the Playline dolls, like that was from the 80s, this is from 2009 or something like that, it's just amazing, the quality. And, the bendable legs. And in her case, she also has articulated arms. Now, that's partially, I think, because she's supposed to be a stylist and she needs to be able to style hair by moving her arms and hands and doing things like that. Now, her arms only bend up so much, but still, that's pretty good. They do bend backwards, I see. Well, she can do some styling like that. So anyway, great line of dolls, I believe. I wish I had gotten more. I only have, I think, two that I can think of. Now, similar to that, I want to mention the That's So Raven dolls. And I have one that I got thinking it was a Sew and Style doll when I first got it. But people on YouTube told me when I first mentioned this that, no, that's actually That's So Raven, which they were absolutely correct. And that, by the way, I did some looking, and it is also selling for quite high prices. What I see, there are several varieties. They're all very realistic looking, and I guess to me they were about the same time, I believe. Let me see if I can find a date on one of these. I thought I saw 2011, or no, wait a minute. No, sorry, 2005 is what I'm seeing. So 2005, and of course they went along with that show. I never watched the show, but there was a show called That's So Raven, I believe on, actually I don't remember what it was on, but maybe Disney Channel? I'm not sure. I'm sure some of you guys know, but I don't really know. But I do know Raven Symone and of who it's from, and I see pictures of her on here. But this is, of course, not her original outfit. I don't think she had anything on when I first got her. And she also has nice hair, and Raven Symone does tend to wear this type of hair, not curly hair. Sometimes she does, but she wears straight hair more, and especially back then, I think. Now she's been wearing all kinds of colors, especially when she was on The View. But I honestly wouldn't have known this was a That's So Raven doll. But what I do know is if you look at her face, Um, it's just so crystal clear, and so it's just beautiful. And I think these two together actually are, very uh, striking dolls. And that's why they're in my top favorites of African American dolls that I have. This one, by the way, I don't know. Let me see the noses. I'm trying to look, and her nose looks more Barbie-like than this one. So this one to me is more realistic in that way. Um, yeah, lips about the same, I think. And she's also got some smaller hoop earrings. This dress is just one I had that I thought she looked good in, so I put her in, but eventually I want to put her in something else, give her a change like I just did this doll before this video. And it's just nice to occasionally change their clothes, as I'm sure you guys know. So, she does have articulated arms as well. They have actually a little bit more posability than that one did, or at least the one arm. This one doesn't want to do that. There it goes. So she can say hallelujah. And she does have the bending legs, but they don't want to bend too much, I guess, right now. So I'm not sure which exact That's So Raven doll this is, although I found one that looked a lot like it. Let me see if I can find it again on here. Yeah, but it was a nude one. Yeah, I mean, this one looks exactly like it, but it's a picture of a nude, quote-unquote, Barbie. By the way, don't you just hate when people call any doll a Barbie, whether it's a Barbie or not, whether it is Barbie or not? Any doll is a Barbie, kind of like any tissue is a Kleenex. So, okay, so last doll of this group that I want to show you is from the Barbie Basics swimsuit line. And I know I've shown her before, but it's been a while. And talk about statuesque. I think she's the only one I took out of the package in that group that I got. I wish she did have a little bit bigger breasts, because they barely fill out her bathing suit. But, this is when we were still in the time of stick-thin models. I like her little poofy hairdo. It's cute. And, you can kind of move it around and give it different looks, or you can just take it out. I mean, actually, I don't know if there's something in it right now, like, it's a hairnet. I didn't realize that. There's a hairnet over it. So I'm going to leave it there because it helps shape it, but you could actually take that off. I didn't realize it was there, I don't think, until now, or I forgot. And, of course, she has her little beach bag with her little scarf, because, you always need a scarf at the beach. And not a towel, but a scarf. And I like this yellow bathing suit. She's got an interesting face. I don't know. I think it's kind of got features that are more realistic. I mean, when you compare her, as much as I like Mrs. Hart, I have to say that, they were kind of almost Disney-ish or cartoonish. So when you look at these two, this is what I mean. I really like this one, but this to me looks much more like a real person. This one looks more like a cartoon as a doll. I don't know, that's my opinion. So, like them both, but for different reasons, and this one is extremely stylish. Maybe could use a little more in the back area as well. But, you'd have to get a fuller doll, and that's why later the curvy dolls came about, and I still think even they could be a little curvier at times, depending on the outfit. One other thing I want to say about outfits, as you can see from these 4 dolls that I've shown, they are such good quality, and, some of them better than others. But, some of these clothes today that you find on especially Playline dolls, I mean, the collector dolls are fine, but the Playline dolls, their clothes, I mean, if you've ever heard the phrase sackcloth, that's what it reminds me of sometimes. It's like sackcloth clothing. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm not going to beat a dead horse with that one. But anyway, I want to show you 2 other quick things, and then I'll expound on those more next time maybe. I got these dolls at this discount store called Ollie's. And they're those what are they called? World Wrestling Federation or something like that. Let's see if it says. I don't see, but anyway, WWE I think is what it is. So, I don't know, it doesn't say what that stands for. But, I got these because they were $6 or something like that, $6.99. And I thought they're kind of interesting, and they definitely have articulation, but they're very muscular dolls. So I may just try to resell those, but anyway. You guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.